So I really don't appreciate the fact that Aaron is now going around telling people a twisted version of the story when there's evidence to prove that he didn't call me a liar straight away. It was Stacey that put pressure on him to do that. And then Stu Armstrong linked up with Aaron, and it's just been flying monkey after that.
You said no. Why did you say
Not
no?
telling the truth.
This test says you're a liar, pal.
Hiya guys. So as you know, I've been putting up with a lot of flying monkeys, friends of some not very nice people that I got myself involved with about 7 years ago. And it seems the flying monkeys don't actually know what they're talking about. I think what's happened is so much time has gone past that evidence and one-way stories kind of takes hold. So I'm doing this video to literally go back over a little bit of time so that people can see exactly the shit that I've had to deal with these men. In 2018, after he attacked me the morning after, he sent me some text messages. And I was really confused at this point. I kind of didn't know what the hell had happened that night. I thought I was going out for my birthday for a good night with a friend. And yeah, basically, it was the worst night of my life. Since that night, I've had major trust issues and lots of different people that I don't know just basically calling me a liar and not believing me. I did share these messages in a documentary called Cyberstalked in 2019, but I tried to move on and took it down, thinking that, you know, my point had been made and everybody believed me. But what's happened now is Clark Tribe and Aaron Twin have teamed up together and they are literally going around and trying to start all the craziness again. I think for them that this is actually a game and that they get off on it. Because they do most of the stuff on fake accounts, there's not much that the police can do. So sort of they're the cat, I'm the mouse. It feels like they're kind of toying with me. After he took me home, we hadn't really said much. He'd apologised straight after, profusely, making up all the excuses in the world. And I was kind of in a bit of a daze. I didn't know what to do, to be honest. I was really confused. So I went home, he went home, and we didn't say anything until he texted me that day. It was 1:13 p.m. in the afternoon, so a couple of hours after he'd dropped me home. He said, "I really like you, Sammy. I'm really, really sorry for freaking out. And that was so not me, and promise now I won't do drugs next time we meet. Just you and me, chill, yeah, thinking of you." I remember I didn't answer back straight away. Because to be honest, I was still trying to get my head together with what I was going to do with regards to the premiere. I knew that I didn't want this man in my life anymore, but I didn't know how I was going to remove him without causing a scene. And then he sent me another message saying, "Still can't believe what I did Friday to you. I will find it so hard to forgive myself for that. I won't take that lightly at all. Oh my God, you're such a nice person. I can't believe how sweet you are, babe. My little perfect. So my little bit's perfect. Thank you, Sammy. Right, I'll try and forget it now and concentrate on us having some more fun together." I basically deflected what had happened. I was kind of just saying, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just forget about it. And then he said, "Oh, it really means a lot that you can forgive me." So in his mind, I had kind of forgiven him. But to be honest, I was just literally looking to get the premiere out the way and never have to see this guy again. I kind of had an inkling that he would use social media against me if I stepped out of line. So I was being pretty cautious. The next day, he texted me and asked me how I was getting on with the filming. And obviously I was busy that day, so I didn't answer him. It got to later on that night and he said, "Hey babe, hope you're okay, just thinking about you and also about that night, and I'm still so beating myself up over what I did. It's something that will live with me forever and I'm so ashamed of myself and how I scared you. It's just so out of character for me and now I'm finding it a bit hard to forget it happened. So sorry, Sammy, and try not to mention it again, okay, gorgeous? You're so sweet deep down and I love that about you. You're my star. Night, gorgeous." So yeah, you can see in these messages that he definitely did something, and it was so bad that he can't live with himself. And I'm telling people what that thing is now. because he's continually used his friends to get at me. Even after I told him in the last three messages, sort of, let's just not talk about it, let's just move on, don't want to deal with it, basically. He still, the next day, felt the need to bring it up again. So I genuinely did think at the time that he was really sorry. But yeah, his behaviour after that and the stuff that's happened with Aaron, there's just no way. I think from what I found out, they're just fantasists that took a fantasy too far. And I was at the fall of that. So the last message I got from Stacey was a bit over the top. He basically said, I keep having little panic attacks just thinking about what I did and how I acted last night. Gonna make this so up to you, I promise, Sammy. How are you feeling today, babe? Can't believe what I did, Sammy. It's killing me inside. I will make this right, I promise you now, babe. He punched me in the face and I had a bruise on the sort of bottom side of the left-hand side of my face. So he was feeling really guilty and he was kind of worried that, I would speak up. I think as the days went on, he kind of got a little bit more cockier when I finally did decide to not have anything to do with him and tell people. Well, you can see what he's been doing. After everything came out and we'd removed Stacey from the production, Aaron Twin contacted me to tell me that Stacey had been in contact with him and he screenshotted me what Stacey had said. Stacey was on a fake account, Kian Louis is his son's name. He put, blame Sammy for this crap. She's fucking twisted and gone too far with this now, proper messed up in the head. Aaron said, Kian Louis, need to knock it on the head because it ain't going to turn out good, mate. Stacey said, Aaron, my family been dragged into this and I'm turning fucking psycho because I've been threatened and so has Linda. This ain't going to turn out good because I'm going back to my old ways on this one, bruv. She started this by threatening my family and that's when shit gets real. And I didn't threaten his family at all. I called his missus a dopey cow for believing his bullshit. And then she decided to go on the Jeremy Kyle show, which is a whole different story. And then Aaron replied to Stacey, Kian Louis, just keep me out of it, please, as I knew and know nothing. And tell your missus to stop ringing me, please. Stacey said, Aaron, that's cool. And then he said, cheers, mate. So you can see that Aaron didn't say he didn't believe me. He didn't say he wasn't working with me ever again because I'm lying about his friend raping me. You can see here that Stacey is kicking off and Aaron is saying he doesn't want anything to do with it. Now, I think what happened over time when the police got involved, Aaron felt like he had to stick by his friend. But to be honest, we hadn't had an issue with Aaron for a year and a half on set. I'd also worked with him on other productions. So, yeah, he was absolutely fine until Stacey came on board. So I really don't appreciate the fact that Aaron is now going around telling people a twisted version of the story when there's evidence to prove that he didn't call me a liar straight away. It was Stacey that put pressure on him to do that. And then Stu Armstrong linked up with Aaron and it's just been flying monkey after that. Stacey kept doing the typical narcissist trick where he was trying to hoover me back. He wanted to talk and sort things out, but we were past that, way past that. Aaron then messaged me to let me know that this conversation had taken place. He said that's all that he'd said to him and he wanted him to leave it out. He didn't want me to reply and he just didn't want anything to do with it. He just wanted to carry on with the film and that he was just showing me what he'd said. And then he referred to me as boss. So at this point, I kind of thought, Aaron knew the truth. Aaron knew exactly what his mate was. But for some reason, Aaron then decided to do podcasts, telling people that he knew that Stacey had taken me out. Whereas here he's admitting that he didn't know anything. So yeah, Aaron has just blatantly been lying all over the internet to people about me. He then teamed up with Clark Tribe. Like I said, Clark Tribe and Aaron never knew each other from Roofed. They didn't work on the same set. So somewhere down the line, they've now become friends. And there's all of their friends as well. So there was Ed Oakley threatened to get me raped. Then you've got all the little bully bitches as well that like to slag you off on public walls. Then Aaron Twin wrote this statement pretending to be me, telling everybody that I was lying and that I'd made it all up because I was a crazy person. I don't think many people would write that about themselves, but this is the kind of thing they do. Then they went on to set up accounts in my name and started trolling other people, so people thought it was me. And yeah, it's only been the fact that I've been sharing all of this stuff now and connecting all the dots and showing you all the evidence. But now I've got a different little bubble from Clark Tribe's side. So I'm putting this video together just so that they can see the main pieces of the evidence of why I've been doing videos in the first place. I don't just set out to make videos and slag people off. There's a reason for my videos. And if people actually paid attention to what I'm talking about and what I'm showing you, you would see that I'm not the villain. So when Stacey and Aaron teamed up together and started to turn the social media network against me, they also teamed up with Chris Smith, who was an assistant DOP for one day on the set. And then he helped them to steal my film by downloading it off of a site it was playing from, cutting out the credits and putting on a different title. And they all supported him stealing my film. So yeah, they're doing everything they can really just to be a pain in the arse. Just vile people. And it's such a shame because if everybody had just been on their best behaviour, we could have done some amazing things. Unfortunately now I've got people sort of asking me to be a part of the production, and I'm having to turn people down that are associated with these people, which doesn't make them automatically guilty, but for my own safety and peace of mind, I'm having to be very, very careful who I trust. Stacey Fordham went on the Jeremy Kyle show calling me a liar to the nation, knowing exactly what he'd done to me. He was also trying to fool his girlfriend at the time. It was quite humiliating, to be honest. But this just goes to show what kind of man Stacey Fordham is. Not only did Aaron send me the messages where he was telling Stacey to sort it out, but I also have proof here that Aaron was working on Roofed 4. So the rape happened on my birthday, December 2018. The premiere was in the January 2019. Stacey and Linda went on the Jeremy Kyle show 11th of February. And you can see here that on the 15th of February, Aaron was still on the set of Roofed. So he knew that his friend was calling me a liar on the Jeremy Kyle show, but he still chose to be part of the production. This proves even further that Aaron did not believe I was a liar to start with. It was only when I said I couldn't work with him anymore that he decided to team up with Stacey. So during all this, I was contacted by a guy called Ed Oakley. He was actually using his real profile. He went on to tell me what a liar I was and a piece of shit that I was. He told me that he's Aaron Twin's friend and that his mate would never ever do anything like that. And then he ended the message by telling me that if I continued, he was going to get me raped by 5 men. So yeah, these men are 1 minute calling me a liar, and then in the next breath they're actually threatening to do what they've already done. So I did actually report this to the police, but yeah, the police have been no help from day one, to be honest. They've had all of this evidence and they still believe that there's not enough evidence to press charges against these people, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Until I found out that there's actually 60,000 people last year that didn't get their sexual assault into the CPS. So the system's broken. These men are going around like they own the internet. They've been harassing, stalking, sending me threats for over 7 years now. They've tried to humiliate me nationally. And it seems whenever I do videos on them and show people what they're doing to me, they try and make out that I'm a troll. Even though I've got all of this evidence on them and I've taken the time to put it together to show people what I'm going through. Yeah, there's a group of people out there that just don't want to see the evidence and they haven't even bothered to look because they know that their little reality will be crushed. But there are a lot of people out there that are sticking up for these predators. And if anyone can see these messages where Ed Oakley tells me I'm going to have 5 men rape me up the arse, if that's the kind of group you want to hang around, then yeah, I say no more. Some people you just can't get through to, and some people just don't want to see sense. So they will continue with their little group on Facebook, fooling people into thinking that they're some sort of firm and scaring people into doing what they want. But to be honest, I'm just glad they don't have access to me anymore. I mean, the most they can do is send me messages. But for the flying monkeys out there that are sending messages to me and calling me a liar, I really hope there's enough in this video to see that I'm not the villain.
You're yellow. Babe, I've got some news.
All right.
Good news too. What's that? I'm free and single, so you can see you when I like now. When you next free?
I've never been free and single.
So what really disappointed me the most really was the women's behaviour. Now, Linda Curry was actually an actress on the Roofed film. Her and Stacey were always having their ups and downs, and they didn't live together. So when Stacey told me that they'd broken up, I believed him. He then offered to take me out for my birthday and took advantage. To cover up what he'd done to me, he then lied to Linda and got back with her, telling her that I was the liar. I'd showed her all the text messages, everything, and she still chose to believe him. Even when the lie detectors said he was a liar. She went on for over 5 years, still being with him, yet she had so much anger for me. It wasn't me that cheated on her. It wasn't me that lied to her. And yet she went round the internet telling people that I should be put in prison. She put up nasty pictures of me. And then she rang the police and tried to have me done for malicious communication. She went on the Jeremy Kyle show and tried to humiliate me nationally in front of my children, my family, my friends. And then after all this, she found out that Stacey was in fact lying. I won't hold my breath for an apology. You see here, this was right at the start. Kian Louis, Stacey. He says Sammy strikes again. She is ruining her own reputation and her reign of terror is going to come crashing around her. No one will ever work with Sammy Lee again. He's talking to an actress that was on Roofed the Double Dose, Kellyanne Summers. She says, Kian Louis, I'm just happy that people are now seeing her for what she is. I thought it would never end. Now, I fell out with Kellyanne for the same reason. She was a diva, didn't get her own way on set, so she decided to go around slagging me off. She'd only met Stacey once on set. They weren't friends before, and yet they teamed up online to go around telling everybody that I was making false accusations. Kellyanne then went on to tell people that I had in fact gone on the Jeremy Kyle show and got roasted. That never happened. Yet Kellyanne still to this day goes around telling people that I'm a liar. She told people that she was seeking legal action against me, which actually turned out to be the Judge Rinder show. They rang me asking me if I was interested on going on the show, and I said absolutely not. So yeah, I don't hear from Kellyanne anymore. I think she's realised that she is an absolute bitch. But she hates me anyway, so she's probably glad that it did happen to me. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that think with that kind of mind. And all I can say is I'm glad I'm not you. So to all the other people that have supported me and have taken the time to listen, I just want to say thank you so much. There is a major injustice, and the fact that these men and women are allowed to go around and keep harassing me. The only thing I can do is keep documenting and sharing as we go. And as you can see, the picture starts to show itself in the end. These people are just vile, horrible bullies. And no man should ever treat a woman the way these men have treated me. And I don't understand why some people think that it's acceptable.
What you done was message Charlene, message Mason, message Clark, because you're fucking a jealous little cunt, mate. Don't make me come and see you!
You're having all these arguments with other people, Sammy, but yet not once did you ever message me about it and ask me. Yes, I commented on someone's status, right, get it right, status, not a group chat, that Oh, is she at it again? Yeah, I had to block her too. Because I was made aware of beef you had with someone else that I work with that had absolutely nothing to do with me.
So this really confused me. Stacey Busher had first contacted me trying to be my friend, offering me condolences and saying that I could be a shoulder to cry on if I needed somebody to talk to. Then I found out she was connected to Clark. When I let her know, she started threatening me, accusing me of messaging Clark, Mason, two actors from my film, and a lady called Charlene that I've never met. Charlene went on a day later to do a video saying that she'd never spoken to me, and that she didn't know me. And the only reason that she'd commented was because somebody on her set had beef with me. So it kind of proved what I'd been saying all along. For some reason, this Charlene's really got it in for me, as well as this Stacey Busher. I've never met any of them or even spoken to them. Well, I spoke to Stacey once when she shouted at me, but to be honest, after that I was still pretty confused. And then Mason got in contact with me, and he was telling me that I was a piece of shit and that something about Clark. And again, I wasn't following what was going on. I just thought, oh my God, I haven't seen these people in 7 years. So the fact I was getting accused by one of messaging these people, and then Charlene saying that she's never spoken to me, yeah, it left me a little bit confused as to what the hell was going on. So after Mason had given me an ear bashing about what he thought about me, I basically reminded him that I'd only met him once 7 years ago, and that it was Clark putting poison in his ear, that I had no issues with him, and I actually thought he was a pretty good actor, so I didn't understand why he had so much hatred for me. He then went on to tell me that he had no hatred for me and that he didn't get involved in any of the drama. He wished me well, calling Aaron Twin a rat, saying he had nothing to do with Aaron. Literally the next day, I was screenshotted messages that Mason was on either Charlene or Stacey's wall, basically calling me a troll and telling people that I'd trolled him for years. That was it for me. I was just like, wow. So we've got Stacey Busher accusing me of messaging these people. We've got Charlene Aldridge admitting I've never spoken to her. I've got Mason telling me he's got no issues and dramas with me. And then he's telling people on a public platform that I've been trolling him. And right at the foot of all that is Clark Tribe. So, yeah, this is where I am today. I've got a police investigation going on with the threats to kill. But the rest of it, I'm just going to have to keep documenting and hope that you guys don't get too bored, because it's not fair what I'm having to put up with. And if I hadn't documented all this over the last 7 years, I wouldn't have been able to prove a fucking thing. But luckily, I've documented everything, and it's starting to tell a story. Unfortunately, it's not a good one, and it has taken over my life over the last 7 years, and it's really affected me. And I just wish these flying monkeys, I get that you don't like me for whatever reason is, but don't hate me because you're making up that I'm lying, because that's just pure evil.
Happens, darling. I'm right here in your messages. Bring it on, darling. Do you want my address, you stupid little cunt?
She's a complete cunt. You know the score of her. She's a lying slag. At the end of the day, she said, get this on the podcast. She said Stacey raped her in the December.
You know what I'm saying? I can roll more fucking boys who don't want to fuck you to fucking smash the shit out of you and your thing. Stacey as well, like, listen, what do? You get the most unattractive men in the whole world, like, and roll them in your fucking cast, what, and then make fucking sex scenes with them. Listen, you're a dog, you're a dirty fucking hoe. There's people out for you on that fucking YouTube channel. Bitch, get it right. Listen, come for me. I'll tell you where to come.
So can you tell me, just, yeah, I can imagine it's quite sensitive for you to talk about, but you've made a film of it. Have you mentioned names and stuff in the film? Yeah, if you can, just tell me the names of the men that done this to you. Just so I can, you know, be vigilant and be aware. And to what extent? I mean, did they all rape you, or was it just one of them and two associates? Or I know it's quite hard to speak about, but I am very interested in what happened, babe.
They really want to know who Sammy Lee is, right? And I stupidly, and I've told this 100 times, I've put my hands up to this, Stuart, I stupidly said, just tell him it's Sammy Lee. Right, that was all. Because Sammy Lee was loving the attention. She had another movie coming out, and she loves the attention just before a movie.
In the eyes?
Yeah.
Anything happened with that woman?
No.
You're a liar.
No, why is that?